Hello, Westside, and welcome back to this week's Terrier Table Talk. I have a few short announcements for you today. Starting off, the school store is currently running an online sale for fall sports merchandise. Luckily for you, you get to customize your merchandise with your fall sport of choice. We have football, soccer, volleyball, or cross country. Luckily, if you're not a sports person, we also have our regular Westside Terrier merch. It comes in very many different shapes and sizes, including t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and fleece jackets. All are available on our online store, but hurry up because the sale ends November 17th, so please take advantage of this great opportunity. Now, Westside. Did you know the West Springfield Health Department offers classes to help students quit tobacco and vaping products? Miss McDonald teaches this class after school once a week, and she wants to support you to make a healthy choice for yourself. On top of that, you get a $50 gift card for completing all 8 classes. Now, doesn't that sound great? If you're interested, please email Miss McDonald at bmcdonald@townofwestspringfield.org. Hope to see you there. Now, on to Aldene interviewing Global Glimpse.
Welcome back, Westside, to Terrier Table Talk. Today, I'm here with my fellow alumni of our new program to Westside called Global Glimpse. It's a program just for juniors that takes you to a South American country for 2 weeks to learn a little bit of global perspective and do a little community service work down there. Now, let's go down the line and just tell everybody where you went and your name, please. We'll start on this side.
My name is Alex, and I went to the Dominican Republic.
My name's Lucas, and I went to Chitre, Panama.
Aldene, and I also went to Chitre, Panama.
I'm Lay, and I went to Turrialba, Costa Rica.
My name is Knox, and I went to Constanza in the Dominican.
Ain't that fantastic? I'm just so happy to be here with everybody. It's such a cool program. Now, how would you guys describe Global Glimpse as an experience?
I personally would say that it was extremely emotional for me. I think that there wasn't a single second where my heart was given a break. It was either really, really happy, really, really scared, really, really anticipatory. But it was just a constant state of emotion because it was a constant state of change. So it was an intense experience, but it was very enjoyable.
I think that's the whole point of it, is to be a little nervous, be a little excited, try new things type deal. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's get another answer on that one. How would someone from this side?
I mean,
For like the first time traveling with your parents from somewhere that far, it's obviously like very nerve-wracking, but you get to meet some new cool people, and then you get to experience a bunch of new things. Like for us, we went to the Dominican. We helped out to build a house for one of the families. That was a really cool experience.
Wow.
And we got to work with new people, and yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. That's so cool. Let's get into CAP projects, definitely. But for now, let's get into trip highlights. So what would you mark as your trip highlights?
Honestly, I think that one of the big ones was probably our first time arriving at the hotel. Because there was a rainbow right over the mountains. So we like walked into like the dining area, and it was like a big open space. And then you kind of like looking out at all the tables, and then we all turned around, and it was like a rainbow over the mountains on our first day there. It was really cool. And I think that was like one of the moments that kind of brought the group together initially, because everyone just stopped to kind of look at it and like take pictures. And it was really nice.
Nice. Lay?
I think that my highlight was probably the community day, where we went into the houses of families in smaller groups, and it was just really like close knit, and they helped you to like immerse yourself in their culture by teaching us games, like local games and local foods, and they didn't speak English, so we were just entirely surrounded by Spanish, and it helped us to learn like a lot about the area.
Nice one. If I had to say, for me, either day 1 or day 2 of our CAP project was definitely a highlight, because we had sectioned off different activities for different people to do. Like some were sanding paint off of barrels, some people were painting the sanded barrels, some of us were mixing cement, some were pouring cement and flattening it out for the recycling plant, which was what we ended up building. But it was just so nice to see everybody kind of come together at towards the end of the trip and like working together on one project, and we banged it out pretty fast. Like it was really cool.
I have to agree with Lay. I think my favorite day was Community Day. Um, it was a good experience because, at least for me, my community, at least my neighborhood, isn't really that close, but their whole area is really close. So it was really like heartwarming to see that type of area. And also, like, you don't have to speak Spanish to go on the trip, but you do get to practice your Spanish a lot, and I thought that was really, really valuable.
Absolutely.
For me, probably the last day of our CAP project when we all finished our jobs, and then we got to eat with all the families in the community, and we got to play with the little kids. We played soccer with them. That was really definitely a fun experience. Very touching, and same thing with the Spanish. My Spanish is not that great, but you'll definitely have some Spanish translators to help you out, so it's fun.
Yeah. How many translators were on
We
y'all's
had
trips?
like 4 or 5-ish,
Okay.
so we had a good amount.
Nice. And you guys?
Same amount. It was just like the luck of having students who spoke really good Spanish.
All right. Yeah, definitely. How many did we have?
I want to say like, yeah, 4 or 5.
Okay. Yep. Also, just something that I thought of just now to mention, when you have free time and are allowed to leave the accommodations and explore whatever town you're in or go shopping or whatever that might be in country, it is required to have a Spanish speaker with you. So don't feel worried about having to try to use your hands, because there should be someone who is fluent in your group. But now let's get into something I'm sure a few of you are wondering. Trip challenges. Were there any particular issues that came up or challenges that you personally had faced that are worth mentioning to someone that might be looking at signing up?
This wasn't me specifically, but you do have to be careful for what you're eating or drinking, because you're not always used to all the food or the water from down there. So you don't, like, I had two friends get sick because they ate a mango from like a random market that they were not supposed to eat from. And it's like, you will be fine if you're doing everything that you should, but it's just stuff like that to be careful of.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen to those who are telling you how to be safe, for sure. Any from the side?
I guess just leaving, like that was like the biggest challenge, was like watching me fly away from home, knowing how far I'm going to go, because like I've left state before, but not country.
Right.
And I guess the only other one that was as big as that was adjusting to like my roomies, because it's like it's an intimate setting with people you don't know at all. So it was really intense to kind of overcome that, but it was, I was very proud of myself to like get over the fear.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
Yes. So let's get into that one next, actually. Unless did you have any? Okay. How was the experience of living with roommates?
I loved it. It was like having a sleepover with some of your friends every day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I know some of the rooms got super close super fast. Like they ended up whenever we would go out to the, what was it, Super 99, the grocery store, they would pick up snacks, and every night they would sit on the bed and just talk about the day and like eat snacks. And that was super nice to hear about. We kind of did the same thing, actually. We had a snack table that just developed whenever we would go out. Somebody would grab something new that nobody else in the room had tried, and we just put it on the snack table, and that was like free reign for anybody to have. But it is definitely like having a sleepover every night. Go ahead.
I just wanted to mention, like, everybody that you're going on the trip with is like super open to making new friends and trying new experiences. So I feel like you're gonna have a pretty good time, like, getting used to everybody that you're hanging out with. Like, it's a really good environment.
Hmm. Had any of the other trips wanted to talk about roommate experience?
I was scared about roommating at first, especially when it came to sharing the bathroom. But I think like immediately we organized a system and it was just so easy to like work with each other and sharing the space. There was 7 girls and we were we were scared, but it was so simple and easy. Like we were so worried for no reason. Like the adults there and everyone on the trip just helped us to figure out a system. And it was fun and we all loved each other.
That's so good. Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things about the program is you go in at the beginning literally not knowing anybody unless, but at the end it's like a family. So that was super cool. Why might somebody want to sign up for Global Glimpse? I feel like we just kind of covered that, but any other things that people wanted to mention?
If you're looking for like some sort of change, I guess, like if you were not to sound like a salesman, but like if you were kind of feeling like you were in like you're kind of stuck in a spot in your life where you're kind of just not really doing anything cool or feeling super extravagant, going on the trip, like once you're there, once you're at the airport, it feels like you're doing the most spontaneous thing you've ever done in your life. You're like, where am I going? Who are these people? How much money did I pay for this? Why did I pack so many clothes? Like, I packed 2 cans of Arizona and a pack of gummy bears. And I was 1 pound overweight, and I have to pay an extra $100
For the 2 cans of Arizona and gummy.
Arizona. No, it just like, and seriously, because like with summer, like I kind of just bum around a little bit, and then the trip started coming along, and I'm doing all the info talks, and I'm going to all the in-person meetings, and I'm
Prepping, packing.
It was especially spontaneous for me because I missed all of my chances to meet anyone in my delegation, so I knew absolutely nobody. Like I knew absolutely nothing. So if you were feeling like you're kind of stuck somewhere, doing something big and honestly, yeah, outrageous like that, it completely changes you coming back home because you're looking around at like what you were doing before and you're like, man, I'm good now. Like I did it.
Yeah.
I survived.
Yeah. Did anybody on this side have anything to add on that one? Why sign up for Global Glimpse?
Honestly, it's just like it's the summer. You don't really have anything to do, so might as well. I mean, you're going out by yourself for what, 2 weeks almost, and it's honestly just a blast to be there.
I agree.
I thought it was also like they call it a leadership experience, and it really is. Like, I feel like I would not have been sitting in a podcast room before this trip, but now I'm like actually willing to like do stuff like this. Like it develops you.
Yeah, that kind of leads right into the next one. What would you say that you gained from your experience in South America?
Like a library's worth of knowledge. I think that like you don't find a lot of moments where you like look back at it and you think you genuinely grew as a person. But the trip, I came home and I was like, I have grown up. You gain like your frontal lobe developed. Like, you just grow up. You grow a little taller, like you feel more confident in yourself a little bit, and especially taking the leadership opportunity in general, like you said, you just want to take more opportunities whenever they show up. And a big thing that was personal for me was facing my fears on the trip. Like I'm horribly scared of bugs. Like I have exceptions, but I'm terrified of bugs, and I have never held so many bugs. Like there was like, bugs here and there throughout my hotel room. And I was just like, oh, I'll just take that outside. And not just, I wasn't phased about it at all.
Wow.
I was walking barefoot around the whole entire like accommodation for like days because I just could and it was fun. And that's not something I usually do. That's out of my comfort zone. What I gained was just like a 1,000 square foot expansion of my comfort zone. I like it was really weird to look back at, but like I said earlier, I was really proud of myself.
Yeah, I think you worded that like perfectly. I completely agree. Definitely. Did anybody, either side, want to share something that you gained from the experience?
I think it's a lot easier for me to talk to like new people, especially going to the Dominican. Like I was trying to talk to people in Spanish, and that didn't really go like that great. But now that I'm here and I'm talking to everyone in English, it's like so much easier to like, I don't know,
I
kind of,
noticed that, yeah.
yeah.
Did any of you have passports before the Global Glimpse trip?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oop.
I didn't.
No, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And they provided what was the support like in getting a passport?
So, I missed out on my chance, but they did provide a scholarship for it. It was just like a small little like sum of money to be able to cover that price, because if it weren't for that, then you would, obviously excluding the financial aid originally, it would add on to the price of the trip as well, and it came to like pretty close to $200. So yeah, they provided support. They also gave you information on what the process was like, because it was like a little confusing, especially because the post office is kind of just like you don't even realize it's there until you have to go to the post office, and then all of a sudden you live a street away from the post office, and you're like, where did that come from? Yeah, so you got information on what the process was like. There was financial aid available, and they also show you what the process is like for getting your visas, the little like stamps, and also kind of just like explaining to you that like in most of the stops throughout the airport in South America, you kind of just walk by and you're like, and then you move on.
I remember having times like that too, actually.
It's awkward because I'm like, is this the right document or do you want something else? And he's
Yeah.
like, okay. I'm like,
Right, they stopped our whole bus to somewhere to like check everybody. Those of us who didn't speak Spanish, we were like, what is going on? But it was okay. Yeah, that was the other thing that I had wanted to make sure we put into this one is financial aid. Would you say the 200 was enough to be significant in getting a passport?
yeah, it covered the scholarship covered the whole entire price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's so amazing. With the trip overall, they're also really good about financial aid. The total trip cost is about $1,500, but if you put in your application household income and whatever else they ask about income kind of things, that can get knocked down to about 600, which was what I ended up paying personally. And with fundraising, which we also wanted to cover, you can bring that down even more. I heard actually that there was one person that went a few years ago, and I'm not sure where he was from exactly, but he went on this trip, 2 weeks South America for free because he fundraised so well. I know you had wanted to speak on fundraising.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if anybody has ever seen like some of those things where you can go to a restaurant and then show like a QR code to support some organization, but like that's stuff that we can set up. We can like ask Hot Table or something, Hot Table Crumble, whatever, to do like some partnership. And if they're willing, then that's like, I don't know, we can get that going. And it's like a good source of like income for the whole like group of juniors that wants to go on a trip.
And on a personal level, the Global Glimpse website has a portal where people can donate money to your trip fund. And even for further fundraising, I was doing a can drive. So like all my friends and family would bring me their cans, and then we would bring it to where you can turn them in to get coins. And we made a lot of money through that method.
Great, thank you for mentioning that. I completely forgot
That's
about
cool.
that bit. Now, on your trips, each person, well, you might have a partner, is required to be leader del dia, leader of the day, for at least one day in your trip, and that's comes with the. Help me explain these responsibilities. What were we doing as leader of the day?
Okay,
'Cause I was
so-
one of the first couple days, so I don't.
In like the night that you're picked, you talk about the agenda of the coming day. You tell everyone like what you need, what to be prepared for
the next
what
day.
to expect, what times you might have free time, and what times the meals are, but they're usually, for me at least, they were at the same time every day. So you did wake up call.
Yes.
Wake up call is like probably the most like freeing thing ever, because like you almost want to say that it sucks waking up so early, but then you get the tassel to just, hey, time to wake up, and they're like, ugh, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So it was wake up call, and then you rope everyone in for breakfast. You tell everyone what you're eating, you tell everyone what you're going to do. You do like head counts, and then everyone goes to the activity like on a bus or walking to wherever. Another head count, making sure everyone knows what you're going to do, and if anyone needs anything, and then you do the activity, which you're usually leading through. And then for me, it was like an activity, and then we go back to the accommodation for lunch, and then probably some free time. And then you rope everyone back in for the next activity, you bring it on home, and then it's dinner, and then the nightly meeting, and then you pass the torch.
All right. Let me find our last question, and we can. Okay. Mention emails or any final thoughts, perhaps? We're getting towards the end, so does anybody have any kind of final thoughts or anything that you'd want to give to our prospective travelers?
Don't be scared at all. Just like you're going to be. It's inevitable, but don't don't let yourself like place judgment for it, because it's just like not worth it at all, because it's a situation where you would be scared. Anyone would be scared. And if you're not, then you're probably like stone cold. Because the fact that you're scared is also just like a reflection of the anticipation to come, because you're going to come home from the trip and you're going to wonder like, why was I scared? That was the best experience I've ever done. That was the craziest thing I've ever done. It was my first time leaving the country or everything. Like, it's okay to be scared because it's going to be scary, but don't judge yourself for it, because it's an experience that you will never find anything that is comparable.
Yeah.
Well said.
Seriously.
I write poetry.
I would say don't be afraid to be open-hearted. In fact, that's one of the things that you should have in your suitcase, just as well as water. Drink so much water.
So much water.
Drink so much water. But that's a separate thing. Drink so much water and be open-hearted. Like we were constantly like saying hello to people just on the street, because I don't know about y'all's countries, but Panama kind of had that community to it, where you pass someone, say good morning, like be open-hearted with the people of the community that you're going to be helping, and especially the people in your trip, because you're living with them, and in order to get to that kind of like family feel at the end where everybody still loves each other and everything, be open-hearted. Anybody else? All right, well, that's all we've got for you today. Thank you for tuning in to Terrier Table Talk. Catch you next time. Toodles!